An educational TV program, Travel Around Kazakhstan, on domestic tourism is produced within the frameworks of Ruhani Jangiru project. Every episode, our camera crew travels along popular routes marked on the touristification map of the Republic. Land abundant, holy, and peaceful forever. To describe your beauty, oh, a fount of wonders! My home, Je te suis. There are no such words in the world. The lyrical confession of Ilyas Jansugurov, the famous Kazakhstani poet, tells about high feelings of people who are rooted or hangs onto the memory of meeting the land of 7 rivers, most of which found in Almaty region. You can virtually learn the unique geography of this region by inspecting the map. Kalasai Lakes. It has the Kapchagai Reservoir. Altyn Emel. And Ili Alatau National Parks. In the region, the largest Korgos Eastern Gates hub is also situated along the New Silk Road. Therefore, whoever wants to see the pristine beauty of Je te suis should visit the Almaty province.
Алматинская область притягивает туристов именно тем, что здесь
Almaty region attracts tourists with the fact that nature is incredibly diverse. You can see marvelous mountainous lakes, rapid waterfalls, mind-blowing canyons, and even deserts in the region in a matter of days. Today, we will go to our new crew right to the singing dunes of Altyn Emel National Park. Welcome to Travel Around Kazakhstan show with Шынболат Пазыл.
Шынболат Пазыл и программа «Путешествуй по Казахстану».
Altyn Emel is a national park located in the Ili River Valley. It was established on April 10, 1996, in order to preserve an extraordinary national complex. Moreover, the park aims to protect archaeological, historical cultural monuments, as well as rare and endangered species of plants and animals. The territory of the park hosts more than 70 species of mammals, including 7 from the Red Book: stone marten, marble polecat, Eurasian river otter, Tinshan argali, snow leopard, black-tailed gazelle, and a nagar. Altyn Emel has the largest population of goater gazelles, 4,000 animal units, and Siberian ibexes, about 1,500 units. Besides, there are 4 other cloven hoof species: wild boar, roe deer, saiga, and argali, and 2 species of one-hoofed animals, Eurasian onager and Przewalski's wild horse. The history of the formation of local saiga antelope population is impressive. In the harsh winter of 1976 to 1977, numerous herds of saiga went to places unusual for them, migration far south. Through the ice of Kapchagai Reservoir, a small group of these animals entered the foot of the Sholak and Matau mountains, where it stayed till spring. When the ice finally melted, antelopes could not come back and have been forced to develop a new territory in a valley situated at the foothill. All variety of animate and inanimate nature is maintained with some help from the staff of the Altyn Emel National Park. They conduct research on different matters and keep the chronicle of nature. The park has devoted the considerable attention to the development of ecological tourism. You may find a multitude of landscapes in the total park area of 520,000 hectares: mountains, sandy deserts, and wasteland. The trail to the Altyn Emel from Almaty begins from the northern ring and along the Kapchagai Highway, Kapchagai Shengeldi Sari Ozek. A modern autobahn leads to Ozek. The route further to Bashi has satisfactory pavement. The distance is 242 kilometers. The trip takes about 3 to 3.5 hours. The first stop of the trip to Altyn Emel surely is the central estate of the national park in Bashi village. You have to pay for entry, a car, a person, and pitching a tent if you are staying overnight. They used to give a guide who accompanied you during all journey. Now it is optional. At the moment, we are in one of the hotels in Bashi, which neighbors the Altyn Emel National Park.
С национальным парком Altyn Emel. Здесь комнаты делятся на
The
3 вида.
hotel has divided rooms into 3 categories depending on their price: standard, semi-luxe, and deluxe. Let's look together. Six vast guest house for 50 persons accommodate tourists. Hot meals and 4 equipped camping sites are available. An ethnographic village with yurts, the Saka bath, with pools provided national food and drink for visitors. One of the park's main attractions is a 700-year-old willow, which grows in the Kozba-style lodge, approximately 30 kilometers south from Bashi village. The tree is enormous and broad-crowned. The best part is that you can get some rest in its shadow and collect drinking water. You can put a tent near the beautiful pond too.
Немногим удается сделать
Few
то,
people have managed to do in their life what Chokan Valikhanov, Kazakh explorer, historian, and ethnographer, has done in his short life. Every Kazakhstani citizen cannot miss places associated with his life. We are near these places, namely the spring of Chokan Valikhanov.
Идемте посмотрим.
Chokan Valikhanov's stream, with crystal clear water, is set right at the foot of the singing dune. Among people, it is known as holy and that its water heals from many diseases. The famous explorer and researcher stopped right here for a camp, traveling from Russia to Kashgar.
Пока что мне
I
здесь
love
всё
everything
нравится.
about it, but I have to taste water.
Воду на вкус. Вода прохладная, но
It is cool and a little salty, but it's drinkable.
попробовать можно.
The most outstanding journey of Valikhanov was his expedition to unfriendly Kashgar, which was isolated from foreigners at the time. Any stranger sent there could be charged with espionage and executed. In June 1858, Chokan, under the name of merchant Alimbai, moved to Kashgar with a caravan of Musabai Toktubayev, a merchant from Semipalatinsk. As a result, he could learn about the life of locals, collect data on geography, nature, and economics in 6 months in Kashgar. The work was so unique that it was published not only in the Russian Empire, but in London in English too.
Первые уроки рисования Шокан получил.
Chokan received the first drawing lesson in 1844, when Russian military topographers arrived in the country. His works became the first known illustrations of Kazakh life, made not by visiting scholars, but a native. Since then, he made it a routine to draw everything he saw.
Что он видел.
He was interested in the traditions of his native steppe. He had drawn the mausoleum of Kozu Korpesh and Bayan Sulu, collected and published the text of a poem about them as well. Valikhanov was astonished by petroglyphs in Tamgali Valley. With great interest, he learned about the lives of the Kyrgyz, who were called Kara Kyrgyz, as they had no division of white and black bone social groups. On the way to the Singing Dune, it is hard to miss stone stele of Osakhtas. According to legend, on them a large Thai kazan was placed, where they cooked food for all troops of Genghis Khan. You can notice Osakhtas on the emblem of Altyn Emel National Park. Stele are several boulders, 2 meters high, set vertically in the ground. The legend tells that in 1219, at the time of the Central Asia conquest, Genghis Khan, the famous Mongol conqueror, had settled to relax with his army there. To feed warriors, they put gigantic cookware with the metal and rocks. In another version, Osakhtas is a signal tower where the smoke was out whenever the enemy threatened them. We reached the main aim of our show. The one-of-a-kind nature monument, the Singing Dune, is 150 meters high and 3 kilometers long. It is unusual because of 2 circumstances. Firstly, unlike other sandhills, it stands still for 1,000 years despite the wind. Moreover, the Dune Hill sings in dry weather. How did the Singing Dune form? The dust from shores and banks of the Ili River blown by strong winds from Bakuti and Soguti mountains on the south met an obstacle of big and small kalkans and settled in the shape of barchans. So, it turns out that the kalkans played the role of a shield. Yes, kalkan means shield in Kazakh too. For millennia, Dune does not shift and only remains in place. In this side of the Ili Delta, a strong wind blows that raises clouds of sandy dust from the river Shal. Near the hill of the big and small Kalkans, wind encounters an obstacle and slackened leaves the sand. In thousands of years, the massive sand mountain grew in Altyn Emel. Barchan does not roam plains, and that is why it firmly stands on this very point. Sand dunes are about 100 to 130 meters high. It would seem simple, but to climb to the top was not easy at all. Legs sank ankle deep in the sand. We spent more effort here than on the steep mountain climb. Besides, the strong wind did not help matters. It always tried to drop us, so not everyone can ascend. It is much easier to climb the Barchan dune on the right ridge.
Чтобы услышать пение, нужно подняться.
To hear singing, you have to raise to the ridge and move down a little from it. Barkhan really makes noises, but not only when you slide down it. We barely heard a buzzing hum of different tones resembling high voltage sounds and felt it in our bones. What an astounding sensation! However, we have not caught hills singing in the wind, according to the internet. Perhaps weather conditions were not suitable because winds and aridity of sand play an important role. After all, we went in autumn. The professor Marikovsky said that singing of barchans occur from the friction of 2 sand layers, dry top and the wetter lower level. In our opinion, this theory is valid. When you go down and see how the top cover thick as ankle crumbs, the denser layer lies under it. In these moments, you hear the music. You will have a pleasant view from the brow of the Singing Dune. On the south side, there are Ili River line and Violet Safety and Baguti Mountains. To the west, the steep side of the big Kalkan closes the horizon, and a small Kalkan is at the south. You could recognize Jungeri and Alatau in the north. Such deserted and semi-arid landscape covers a substantial area of Altyn Emel. place has exciting points, like speckles to which you have to drive great lengths to different sides of the park. This video was shot beyond the Singing Dune, where you could see Ulkin Kalkan and Kisti Kalkan. By the way, the Singing Barchan is a popular travel destination not only during summer, but in winter. You can often find extreme sport enthusiasts who conquer this terrain on mountain bikes, nor they're upset with snow or firm crusts of sandhills. The land of the park is full of ancient natural monuments. Altyn Mountains are known in the paleontological societies of the entire world because according to the analysis, they are more than 400 million years old. Here, archaeologists identified fossils of ancient animals and relic plants. According to scientific resources, in the prehistory when the planet had only 2 continents, the Tethys Sea located here. Cliffs left as a remainder of the sea had been shaped in the result of the clash of sea currents that brought and stratified different layers of epochs and rocks on each other. People call chalk mountains white. Instead, they burst as a frozen firecracker. Sugar sides changed to ruddy crimson strips. Blue limestone waves cool down blazing orange-colored clay. At the foot, streaks of gray and green color meet. Gorges stretch over many kilometers like a tortuous maze of random shapes and textures. Vastly colored sedimentary sections of the lake and river from Paleogene and Neogene eras had been preserved on the right bank of Ili River, south of Altyn Emel spine. This field with whimsically rugged ravines is named Oktau because of its main white rock color. The growth of Altyn Emel Ridge, as well as other peaks of the North Tinshan, is ongoing. It is the reason why sculptural activity of temporary water flows from mount continues unabated. Oktau Mountains are magnificent chalk ridges.
У многих людей Бархан
A
ассоциирует
large number of people associate dunes with Jeep safari. You understand only at the mighty Singing Dune that nothing compares to the foot conquest of the sandy peak. Someone would think that height of 150 meters is not a serious one. Still, at the top, you feel the greatness of nature which created and preserved its miracle in Altyn Emel. This was Shinbolat Pazil with Travel Around Kazakhstan program.
программа «Путешествуй по Казахстану».